Hello, my name is Sam Hyatt, and I'd like to talk to you about social media and some decisions I've made in the past. So, in January of 2019, I quit social media. This began with a new feature on the iPhone called Screen Time. Screen Time is a small app found in the settings, and it tells you the average amount of time you spend staring into your iPhone. If you'd like to check out your own screen time, it's pretty easy. If you have an iPhone, it's going to be on your settings, and you're going to go down to this little guy right here, and that tells you your screen time. And it's going to tell you your average for a day. Mine's at 54 minutes for today. Um, and it tells you a lot of different things about the hours in which you're using it and everything else like that. It also averages out a week, and you can set it so that it can give you alarms and different notifications to even give you a little piece of information that tells you stop or that you've been using an exceeding amount that you would like to use per day. One day while I was walking to class, I felt my phone buzz and I quickly grabbed my phone out of my pocket to see who had followed me on Instagram or favorited one of my tweets. But that's not what it was. It was my phone telling me that my average screen time per day was almost 3 hours that week. This is almost a third of my whole day, or 28 hours of a 7-day week. What could I have gotten to do in this amount of time? What could I have learned or accomplished in that 28 hours? I deleted Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat and haven't looked back. But this wasn't enough for me. I wanted to know more about the media issue and what it entails. The statistics in general are even more frightening. As social media becomes more prevalent, more and more people are spending an increasing amount of time on their phones. According to data by Flurry Mobile, the average US consumer spends a whopping 5 hours a day on these devices. That is a 20% increase in time spent compared to 2015. This is a terrifying statistic. This time, people could have spent exercising, working, doing homework, learning an instrument, but instead we spend it scrolling through social media. Even more alarming is the increase in social media use of younger people. CNN reports that almost half of all kids have some sort of social media presence by the age of 8. There are little to no studies to show what kind of effects this will have on our generation, but we know that ours is already caught. It would be one thing if using social media at least made us happy, but it doesn't. In fact, studies show just the opposite. Teenage and young adult users who spend the most amount of time on Instagram, Facebook, and other platforms were shown to have a substantially from 13 to 66% higher rate of reported depression than those who spent less time. I believe this is because of the false self that people project on social media. I always scrolled through Instagram thinking, man, look at what these people are always doing. They're skiing this day and in the Bahamas the next day. They have pictures at concerts and huge parties. I'm not doing this every day. How are they? But then I looked at my Instagram page, which was filled with pictures of me at the beach, skydiving, and wakeboarding. This isn't what I do every day. This is just what I want people to think I'm doing, that my life is that interesting. So everyone is just pretending that they live this extraordinary life when they're really pretty normal. But this leads people to think that their life is boring in comparison to everyone else's, which ultimately makes people less happy. However, I saw through this. I just decided to quit it altogether. It seems daunting and scary at first because you've spent so much time building up this social media presence. It starts to feel like part of your identity. You might have a large following on Facebook or a few streaks on Snapchat. But I just frame my mind to think of these things negatively rather than be proud of them. I don't want 1,000 followers to see every little thing about my life, and a 300-day Snapchat streak is embarrassing proof that you haven't been without your phone in 300 days. These are all just attachments to a false representation of yourself that you've built up on these platforms. However, it is still a bit scary to just throw out all that hard work. So rather than deleting the accounts, I just deleted the apps. I knew that I could download the app and be right back to social media in an instant if I decided to. But I didn't. I never did. I thought it was going to be super hard to keep myself from re-downloading the apps, but it wasn't. I didn't want to. My original goal was to go a week without it, but after a week I thought, I could go another week. And after 2 weeks, I said, how about a month? After a month, I just decided to quit it altogether. I was happier, healthier, and more productive. After quitting, I didn't get sad or feel left out. In fact, the only difference I could really tell was that productivity. I was glad to spend that extra time doing things that I wanted to do, rather than turn my brain off and stare into a screen. If I had a 30-minute break between classes, I wouldn't lay on my bed scrolling through Twitter. I started running. I started running just about every day, in fact, because I remembered how much I liked running. After that, I would walk into my dorm and notice all those books on my desk that I've been meaning to read. And I started reading again. I found that cheap guitar that I bought at a yard sale under my bed. Yeah. Granted, I'm still learning guitar, but I'm learning. Not to mention my grades. I stopped procrastinating so much. Everyone has had that moment when they sit down to start an assignment and then wind up scrolling through Instagram before starting. Now, I've been getting assignments done ahead of time and been more focused while doing them. See, social media is there to entertain us while we're bored. But if you get rid of that distraction and allow the bored moments, you find the things you actually want to do or need to do. So, I encourage you all to try quitting social media. Just try it and see what I'm talking about. If you're scared to do it, do what I did. You don't have to go and delete all of your profiles or throw out your phone. Just try deleting the apps, which you know you can download back at any second. But set a goal. Go 3 days, maybe a week, or even a month. I think once you try it, you will find it easier than you think. You want to start spending more time on your hobbies and just being more productive in general. You won't get rejected from your friend group or miss out on communication. In fact, I've found that a lot of people actually want to quit social media as well. And those who have quit, including myself, don't regret the decision. They cherish it. Hi. I'd like to introduce a few books to you that kind of go along with this topic of quitting social media and being more present. One is The Power of Now, a very interesting book about really appreciating the time you're in right now and not being so sucked into your phone or other things like that. Another one is Wherever You Go, There You Are. This was a really interesting one about understanding where you are in life to a certain level. And then also Mindfulness in Plain English. It's a very informational book. One of the big things about it is it helps you understand mindful meditation and things along those lines. And all these are really important and kind of help me lead to understanding how to quit social media and really how to appreciate and be more productive with my time, which I think is really important for everyone and that everyone our age is kind of lacking right now. And yeah, I think check out those books and they would really help. Thank you.